Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. All right, so we are live on Facebook for the book club of The Secret Life of Damian Spinelli.
You're good vanning.
I am good vanning. What was that? Okay, so we're going to get out of... Hey, Peggy!
We got people on here. They probably know what they're doing a little more than we do.
Maybe. So we thought that we would try doing the book club through a live Zoom on the Facebook group this month to see how this goes. We're seeing a little bit of a delay, so really apologize if you're not and you ask us something. But yeah, so I guess we just want to get started talking about the book. We are going to do like once a quarter or every once in a while, just a book. Right. Either written by a cast member or about
anything that you can relate to General Hospital in any way.
Yeah,
pretty much.
So we thought that
this was really good.
This was really good. So do you want to get started with...
I don't want to talk about each of them individually because I feel like that's going to ruin the book for people who haven't read it yet.
Okay.
So what one did you find most unbelievable?
So let's give a little bit of a breakdown about exactly what The Secret Life of Damian Spinelli is. It is a novel that was written in 2011 by Carolyn Hennessy, who actually plays Diane. And we are reading this straight from Wikipedia. The novel is a tie-in to the television soap opera General Hospital, as the writing and publication was also featured on the series. Totally forgot about that, and we should have gone back and watched those episodes.
We should have.
Oops. So the background is that it was a storyline during late 2010, early 2011, and it featured Damian Spinelli enlisting Diane Miller to help him write a novel based on his private investigator persona. In January 2011, it was announced that the book would be published. The book was written by Carolyn Hennessy, who is known for her Pandora book series, and that's a really fun series. If you have tween kids, it's a really fun series. The book was released April 5th, 2011, which coincided with the series' 48th anniversary. Hennessy said of the book's connection to film noir, "It's not just a nod, it's a whole interpretive dance. When I was approached to write the book from Damian Spinelli's point of view, I was able to incorporate my intense love of film noir and noir fiction." And then she goes on to just name a bunch of people and talks about what fun she had. And she actually went and talked to some of the cast members and said, it's like she went to Jane Elliott and she said, I'm writing a chapter about you in the book. Would you mind acting out a scene for me as Tracy?
Oh,
so
cute.
She could get like the flavor of writing and everything. So I thought that was really neat that she really...
I think she captured everyone perfectly because you could hear their characters in your head as you were reading the book.
Yep, exactly. So each chapter is a different character, and Spinelli is kind of
crazy,
ridiculous in the way that we love him, but he's definitely even one step up more
than one step
more
up.
Ridiculous than
I think it's more than one step. He's taking it to a whole new level here.
Yeah. I've had a day, so I'm having some wine, and it's book club. You need some wine. I forgot to offer you some. Do you want some wine?
Thank you.
So my favorite was when he was talking to Jax.
Okay.
About the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Jax is 63 years old.
Right?
And his dad, hold on.
I was 100.
It was like 120 or something like that. So this book actually, I use friction pens a lot and friction highlighters, and mine dried out. This book actually made me buy a new pack.
Wow.
Sooner than... I haven't really had to highlight a lot lately since quarantine. And I was like, no, I need to highlight the heck out of this book. And that chapter is I can't find it now. But yeah, so Jax is talking about when the dead man's hand and everything. And then he tells and just says about how, he's really old. But, here it is. He found a gray hair or pure white hair.
Yeah. Jax is 67 and a half. And my father died when he was 107.
Just crazy.
Sounds a little bit unbelievable there, Spinelli, but okay.
Yep. What about you? What was your favorite?
So my favorite one was when he rescued Edward.
Yes.
Just because I liked the whole thing. It felt somewhat maybe realistic, even though it's not really realistic.
So explain the story of Edward.
So Alice called and said that Edward was missing and she had no idea where he was, and Spinelli used his sleuthing to figure out that he was on the family yacht and he was looking for a ghost for Lila, and he wanted to reconnect with her, and he got caught in a bad storm, and Spinelli was able to rescue him and use the little life preserving boat to get him back to shore. But just the way he spoke to him, the fact that Edward was looking for Lila. We love Edward and Lila.
I know.
So that was my favorite one.
And it really is. You could really hear everyone in this.
Yes.
Yes, Peggy, we did read Nothing General About It by Maurice. It was actually the April Book Club.
I like that this is interactive, though. Thanks, Peggy, for asking questions.
Great question.
That's awesome.
And we did do a similar, well, we didn't do it live on Facebook, but we did have an episode of our podcast that went over the book.
Right. We met through Zoom for that.
Yep. If you have a suggestion for a book that you think we should read, by all means, feel free to suggest it below or in the comments.
I keep hearing rumors that there is going to be a Nurse's Ball, so I think we should do Robin's Diary.
Okay. And I just bought it.
So, not that I haven't been dying to do that for months anyway, but it makes sense that it ties into why we would do it now.
I feel like we talk about this a lot, especially after they just did a lot of the flashback episodes, that we've come a long way from the way that we talk about things, because the way that he talks about Maxie,
I know,
like she can't go to the bathroom without sleeping with 2 or 3 guys.
Yes.
And she's an idiot, like basically insinuating she's dumb.
Right.
And
he can't go get popcorn at the movie theater because she's going to hook up with someone.
Exactly.
He's there. That was awful. I was shocked at some of the stuff that he said about her.
And I did forget to mention why Jax was so upset. So Jax was going to jump over the ledge because he found a pure white hair at 67 and a half.
Right.
For the first time.
That was so ridiculous.
It was. And then he talked about something with how he was with Sam, but then so was Sunny.
Yes.
That got brought up.
Mm-hmm. I think not my least favorite, but the one that I thought was most unrealistic. Not that they weren't all unrealistic, but the one that was the worst was the one with Kate Howard.
Okay.
There was just like she did everything. For some reason, he was erasing her memories, not like her memories, not like a brain transfer.
But anything that could be traced.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no one else would know what she had done because she just wanted to settle back home and not be bothered by all of that. But she had like saved the world 20 times over the way that he said it. And I just didn't think that was in any way realistic. I'm not sure why she was a character that they picked to write a chapter on.
They did mention a lot of different places in here. So the Port Charles oil refinery.
Right.
I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's ever been.
Oh, and they mentioned that other coffee shop.
Yep.
That we've never heard of before in our life to get.
I highlighted that also.
I just kind of dog-eared stuff. I didn't get creative with the highlighter, but I'm not surprised that you did.
Of course. Well, and then you frequently hear, so basically Spinelli is sitting there talking to Diane, and it's very late at night, and all she wants to do is go home to Max, have a pint of Haagen-Dazs and other things.
Mm-hmm.
And she keeps digressing in her mind. And so it's really written very nicely where you hear Spinelli telling his story, but then in bold, it talks about Diane and her, seriously, Mr. Jackal, like, this is ridiculous. You have got to, well, and we mentioned this when we were talking about Night Shift, his fear of clowns was mentioned in this too. Like Spinelli used to be an acrobat.
Right.
He used to be a famous gymnast in Russia.
Something about a throwing chickens act that he didn't want to teach the other kids.
Mm-hmm. He frequently talks about the fact that he doesn't know his parents or his family.
Well, I don't think I ever realized that.
Neither.
I mean, I'm sure
I know it, but
right?
Yeah,
exactly. I'm sure it was mentioned somewhere, but I don't think I realized that played any significant part in his life. And then hearing him mention it over and over again, that should be a storyline they follow a little better.
Yeah. So one of the things that Diane wrote was, we settled into a booth at the Night Owl. a cozy joint that I'd have to remember for those times. Max and I got the Post Nookie Munchies. So the Night Owl is also a bar that I guess they did not ever talk about.
Right.
That we've never heard about. When Alan was haunting Monica, and it said, "From what I hear, tell Prince Charming that's all you ever were." He was Prince Charming in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella with Leslie Ann Warren.
I like
Love that.
He called Alan out because Alan said something about he didn't want to cheat on her in the afterlife.
Right.
He wanted her to join him. And Spinelli was like, I seem to recall you had some problems with that when you were among the living.
Yep. No, that was definitely a great storyline.
But the Alan story, I felt, again, not believable, but believable.
I felt like it was so real that it was I thought it was very touching because Alan's coming back and he's like, you know what? I kind of really sucked as a husband on Earth, but I'm dead now. Can I get a second chance? Can you join me?
Which was a little selfish, but hopefully his intentions were good.
Yes. The one that I found the most unbelievable was Elizabeth.
See, I didn't find that unbelievable, but I was mad that they took such a negative tone to it.
Well, how do you mean? So basically, Elizabeth has a side gig as an abdominatrix.
I love it.
I loved that phrase. So Elizabeth needs some extra money, and she basically shames people into working out while being dressed as a nun, a firefighter, a cop, what else? A school teacher, stuff like that.
But I guess hazard, what's it called?
A hazmat suit.
Thank you.
All these different things. But Lucky, and that was Lucky's like, my wife, my ex-wife. I don't even know what the heck to call her anymore.
I didn't like that part though, because I feel like Lucky and Liz do have a good enough relationship that if he had questions, he would have come right out and asked her. He wouldn't have hired Spinelli. So I found that part not very nice. But they made comments about her hooking up with multiple people.
Yes.
And then,
which daddy is, she calls her, I just call her the maternal one since she has all those kids by all those different,
Exactly. So then they kind of insinuate that they think she's running, like she's being a hooker out of her house when the kids aren't home.
Did you watch Desperate Housewives?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my gosh, Amanda knows a show that I am going to talk about. Yes. Mark this down in history.
It's a show, not a movie. That's the
There
difference.
are plenty of shows that you have not known what the heck I was talking about.
No,
so we're just going
to a movie.
Chalk this
Go
one up.
ahead. All right,
to,
you can take the win.
Okay.
Gold star for me this
Gold
week.
star for Amanda. Good job. When Susan winds up doing that cleaning service webcam, that's what I was exactly.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially in this. Elizabeth has a mask on. You don't even know that it's her.
Now we all know what Amanda will not share during her reality.
Oh my
check.
goodness! I wish I am not driving around in a Mercedes.
You're a redhead. I
sure.
bet people would definitely go for it, Amanda.
I don't know if you can say that about redheads, but thanks.
There's fetishes for everything.
There is. So I don't know.
Anyway, back to Liz.
I don't think I could be dedicated enough to work out as much as Liz obviously was in order to run.
If you're getting paid like that,
but I would be tempted. I didn't see anything wrong with it, and Liz has a breakdown and says she needs to go for therapy and back to the mental institution.
Yeah,
no, that was taking it a little far.
That was definitely taking it a little bit too far. And then there was,
I think the most believable was Crazy Helena, because she would totally. So Alexis calls Spinelli and needs help because Helena has taken her captive and the girls back to the island in Greece, and he goes to rescue her along with Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas happens to be on the plane.
Yep.
And it turns out that Helena has forgotten or, is having issues remembering. And so she thinks that Alexis is Alexis's mom. And so she's going
Kristen.
Yes. So she's going to give her back her voice that she took from her whenever she killed her by slitting her throat. I think Helena's that crazy.
I definitely think, and given the age, so there's a chance that, she was so worked up in her life about her husband having this affair and having these kids outside of their marriage that it could have tripped some kind of psychosis.
Yes. That Christina was Alexis's sister's name.
Yes.
So that was supposedly what started it, was she heard Alexis call Christina.
Yes. And then they were talking about Dave Cates.
Yes, and I wanted to know if he was related to Jagger.
It has to be, right?
I would think, but I don't know that they've ever said that.
I don't know. One of the ones that I would really love to see so I feel like I maybe was not watching when this took place, but I still feel like I would know if this happened when Jason Spinelli dressed in drag.
Yes. I don't remember that.
Do we say drag? Is that when they dressed up like women because Sam was...
because they say drag queen bingo, so it's drag.
Yeah, but there's a difference, I feel.
Either way, everyone knows
drag queens are drag queens. Like that's their thing. These guys are just dressing up as women to get close to Sam so that they can...
I still think that would be drag.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
I don't know. So if I just said something wrong, I'm sorry.
I think everyone knows we're not trying to offend anyone, but I think that that's what it is. If you're doing it as a costume, maybe it's not part of your identity, then...
But that totally has to be something.
We should we can find a clip of that.
So basically, Sam is distancing herself from Jason. You know, she's realizing he won't commit, and Jason's talking about all this, that, you know, Sam just doesn't know how committed he is, and like he does want to be. And so I guess she's off joining a band, playing the bongos, wearing a blonde wig.
Eddie Main first and been one of his groupies.
Right?
That would have been so much better.
And then, so Jason and Spinelli join, and Jason plays the piccolo. Okay, Jason plays the piccolo.
Mm-hmm.
So they join the band and they go on the road with them and everything. And Sam talks about Jason's eyes. Look familiar, but not as nice as Jason's, but she doesn't know that it's Jason.
Right.
And then they go for a walk on the beach and she goes skinny dipping and he's like, I'll just stand here and drool. She's like, what? But long story short, they actually come out to
reveal their identities.
And, you know, they get together. And the Dante one, I wasn't quite sure about.
Mm-mm.
So Dante gets poisoned eating sushi. Oh, Lulu, back in the beginning, talks about how every time Luke leaves, he gives her $10,000.
Yes.
And Valium?
Yes. But then changes it to Pez because you don't want to get addicted to Valium and you can't get addicted to Pez.
Yeah, you can. Sugar.
But I think it's cute the way that he talks about Lulu. He refers to her, I don't know what he says, the young one, the sweet one, something. It makes it sound like she's a child that has a crush on him.
Yeah.
And then he goes on talking about how he was tempted to be with her after he found out about this $10,000.
Oh, and how Carly was coming on to him.
Yes, that was a little
totally not believable. Totally happening just in his head.
But I find it odd that he would have that fantasy about Carly. I mean, she's beautiful, but I don't know, the age difference there, and she's like a protected one. She belongs to Sunny and Jason.
Yeah.
So that was a little shocking to me. I thought that the one about Olivia and Johnny, that it was going to turn out that Johnny was in on it and knew what was going on. Whenever he said he walked in the room and like Johnny. Okay, so Olivia calls and says that she needs help, that her and Johnny. Oh, that story didn't ever continue anywhere in real life either.
No.
Some of these you could kind of pull into real life something that happened with them so that Spinelli could pretend like it was real or that it actually happened. But this one, Olivia and Johnny were going to adopt 7 kids.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do it here in the States. And so mysteriously, they got this email that was like, oh, you can come adopt some kids here. Just come pick them up. And whenever they got there, Johnny was separated from Olivia.
First of all, the flags weren't going up with, hey, we never even contacted this place about adoption.
Right. Well, through the internet, you can trace anything, was what Johnny's answer was. Right. Which is why I thought that he was in on it, was because he was not concerned at all. They just went to pick up these kids.
7.
Yes.
7, because 7 kids.
So they sent them a picture and they couldn't pick which one. So they said they'd take all 7 because that happened. And so he gets there and he rescues Olivia. And then he goes in to get Johnny, and Johnny is on this comfy bed with all these women around him and yummy food, where Olivia had been locked in just like an empty room with nothing.
Right.
So it made me think that Johnny was in on coming over there and taking over and being part of all that. He wasn't, though. They ended up rescuing him and getting away with all of these children, which you don't see in real General Hospital world. So obviously, Spinelli, your story is not correct, but it was cute.
It was very cute. I'm just flipping through and seeing which ones I think that we've talked about most of the storylines.
It ends saying, but that's for another time. That's a story for another time.
And they never, and Robin apparently almost lost her license because a professor.
That would have been a good.
That would have been a really good story.
That was juicy.
So the professor basically had a crush on Robin and really wanted to get with her, and she wouldn't. And so he basically said, "You know what? You actually failed my class, so now you don't have your degree. You could not have qualified to become a doctor."
Right.
And Spinelli took care of it. That would have been an amazing storyline. Yes.
Because you think that Robin was so dedicated to all her studies. They never talk about other relationships that she had.
No.
During the time that she was studying.
No.
Or when she was over in Paris by herself.
So
that would have been that one was somewhat realistic.
That would have been really good, yeah. Oh, and then no.
I like when you say
we don't want to talk about the end.
No.
Well, but like who he went to help at the end?
I mean, I guess it's part of the book. You can.
Yeah. So he went to help Brenda at the end.
But he didn't know Brenda. Right. That was the part I didn't find believable. Whenever she says her name, he's like, "Oh, Jason," in like
recommended
Spinelli,
you or something like that.
And Spinelli speak. "Oh, Jason has connected us because he knows I can help you, blah, blah, blah." How would he have not known about Brenda?
Right.
There's no way.
Never seen a picture of her. Never.
Right. She was with Jax, Sonny, and
married to Jason.
Yeah, and he has no idea.
Yeah.
No. So
I think that is it, though.
Yeah, I don't want to
give away too
much.
I
don't want to tell all of them. Those were just like my favorite ones. But I would love for them to come out with a second one because I loved the way that it was written, and that, like we said, you could honestly hear the characters.
Yeah.
Like she did a really good job of sticking with how they write in the storyline.
Yep. And even knowing that Carolyn Hennessy actually engaged with, I mean, obviously she does have scenes with these people, but like she really engaged and went to Jane Elliott and said, "Hey, I need you flipping out in the den right now."
Right.
So that I can write this chapter of the book like Tracy would do.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, really cool. So.
Oh, that was another good story. Okay. Tracy and Luke. I thought it was sweet that Luke wasn't really captured. So Tracy takes him and keeps him in a room. I won't go into all the details because, again, you should read it. But Tracy captures him because he runs off all the time. So she wants to hold him captive so that she knows where he is and spend some time with him and blah, blah, blah. And Spinelli goes to rescue him. And it turns out that Luke could have got out the entire time. He was just saying, "Poor Tracy."
That's nice. Sweet. That's very nice.
It's a very weird, messed up story, but it was sweet that he would stay anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is just a little recap of the book, The Secret Life of Damian Spinelli.
Are you going to van it one more time?
As told to Diane Miller, written by Carolyn Hennessy. We really have to figure out how we're exactly going to do this book club because we definitely want to engage with you more. Obviously, it's summer, so it's difficult to pinpoint.
Right, and we changed the dates a couple of times.
We did. We changed the date once, and that definitely had something to do with this. But, we definitely want to talk to you guys. I think the next book that we're going to read is Robin's Diary. So order it on Amazon. I think we posted a link to Thrift Books in the group. So if you need a discounted book site, Thrift Books is awesome. Go to the link.
Your coupon's on our page too.
Yep,
15% off.
Yep, it's 15% off your first order, and I love Thrift Books. I'm kind of an addict. And I guess that's really all that we have to say about The Secret Life of Damian Spinelli. It's a great read. It's a very quick read.
Yes, and I like how it was broken up into different stories. So even if you had to put it down and walk away, it wasn't like you got lost over those next couple of days. You could pick it right back up again.
Each story was definitely very individual. I mean, like we said earlier, they definitely just made Spinelli ridiculous 10 times what he already.
Right.
He's cute ridiculous right now, but this was kind of ridiculous.
Over the top. Yes.
Yeah. So we hope that you read the book. Let us know what you think about it in the comments. And
so have a good weekend.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.
Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot. Suitcases, Tetris style.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy?
Uh-huh.
No going back this time. Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax, carpets back.
I meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant. If things go to plan, it'll be smooth sailing.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.